I think an MBA just sounds very scary in itself, but when I stumbled upon Vedica, I realized that I'd have a chance to do not a traditional MBA, but something along those lines with liberal arts communication and personal growth. And that way I'd get to maintain my humanities roots along with doing something that was a little different and something that I wouldn't find so easy. And I don't think there's any other course, at least in the country, that offers such a vast curriculum, and Vedica just seemed like the right fit. My Shadow a Woman Leader module was under Colleen No, who is the Vice President of Partnerships and Investment at this company called Zaxis. I think my 6 weeks under Colleen gave me an opportunity to learn about an entirely new industry called the programmatic advertising industry, which I had no idea about. And one thing that I got very lucky with was that I didn't have just one mentor, but I had three, because there were three mentors who collaborated together with two of my fellow mentees and gave us a shadow experience that I don't think any of my fellow batchmates would have had. One of the things I'm definitely grateful for with my shadow program is that it helped me figure out what I wanted to do with my career and in my placements. So after my shadow program with Colleen, where I worked in the area of partnerships, I realized that I wanted to work under the broader umbrella of business development. Fortunately, at Vedica, there were a lot of companies that were coming in the area of business development, but still the placement process was a little stressful. But after a lot of companies that we sat for, I finally got selected with this company called Leap.Club. And I think the entire process with Leap has been a very seamless process, because both our interviews and our presentation happened in the very same day. I think my reaction was a very heartwarming reaction, because the people at Leap actually got us together into a Zoom call, and they congratulated us and welcomed us into the company. So at Leap.Club, my role is that of a Member Onboarding Manager, which is basically a sales role. So I have to speak to a lot of women, I have to talk to a lot of women and basically encourage them to come and be a part of the Leap membership. I think during the pandemic, a lot of institutions had closed down, but something that I'm very happy about is the fact that Vedica continued to keep its hostel open. And right from the beginning of the course, I've been in the hostel, and there were a lot of classes that we attended online and offline, and I think both of them have their pros and cons, but never did I feel at a disadvantage when I was attending online classes, because I still had all my friends and a lot of my batchmates out there to help me whenever I needed help and all of that. So I think the process of a hybrid model actually worked for the best. So I think over the course of the 18 months, teaching assistants, of course, they've been like mentors to us, but they've turned out to become like friends. They've helped us a lot with a lot of courses, and I especially from a history background, when I moved in here, and I felt like there were a lot of courses when I was completely lost. I had a lot of help from tutorials by teaching assistants, and I don't think of course there's only so much that you can learn from your own batchmates, but when we're all in the same boat, teaching assistants really went out of their way to help us out with a lot, and I think Vedica would have been incomplete without them. I think my favorite course at Vedica is a little different from what my other batchmates would say. I think it's visual storytelling, which was basically like a course in filmmaking where we watched a lot of documentaries and a lot of films, and we have different kinds of evaluation for a lot of courses. There's group projects, there's individual assignments, but for visual storytelling, we actually had to create a documentary of our own. So I think I wouldn't have had a chance to actually create a movie with a lot of people, so I absolutely loved that course. My favorite faculty was definitely Chavi Behl, because and she taught us macroeconomics. So I had done economics as a part of school, and then when I moved to history, I was completely out of touch with it. And for some reason, I always felt like macroeconomics was my weaker subject. But when I came in here, I think it was an online course, but I think the manner in which she taught it, and she was so patient with doubts and everything. I mean, I loved it. She's a wonderful teacher. But Vedica for me was like homecoming, and just being in an all-girls cohort, but was very different, because there were women from very different backgrounds, different age groups, and I've always been in the same age group with my batchmates in the past, and I've gotten a chance to learn so much from all these women, and I think there's just this sisterhood that's created with this batch that I don't think I would have had anywhere else. You're not going to get a course with the kind of curriculum that Vedica offers and the faculty that Vedica offers anywhere else. And if you're confused about whether you'll be able to fit in, whether it's from an engineering background doing liberal arts subjects or the other way around where you're scared of quantitative subjects, there's just a lot of help from your peers and teaching assistants and even faculty, and in no place will you ever feel completely lost and by yourself. And it's something that you shouldn't have any second thoughts about. Just go for it.